Thank you for tuning in to Girls Gone Gritty again. You were with us last week, and we want to segue what we did last week with this week. It's a back to the music, back to the lyrics, and more of Darian's beatbox, more info, more stuff, good little nuggets of sound to come. So we thank you so much for tuning in again this week.
We feel like we left you on a little bit of a cliffhanger on purpose. It just kind of came to an end. We had so much to say, so we just kept rolling. And now, segment 2.
Here we go.
Last night a DJ saved my life. Let's hit it.
Can you please just give them one little ounce of the beatbox, because we kind of missed it in our promo trailer.
Oh, jeez. No. Boys.
That was amazing.
Tune in.
All right.
Episode 20, people.
All right.
Nice.
Thanks so much for listening. And this go out and crank some tunes, baby, because Girls Gone Gritty is getting wild.
Bring it on.
Welcome to Girls Gone Gritty. I'm Farley Boyle.
I'm Darian Boyle.
And I'm Jennifer Berenius.
Collectively, we're two sister-in-laws with our bestie.
We don't just talk, we do it. Day, night, mountain, beach, and city.
Get ready as we bring gratitude and attitude to everything we do.
We jump in head first, unafraid, and we're all in all the time.
We bring it on and get it on each week, diving deep into authentic, unscripted conversations
On just about everything. So
Let's get gritty.
Bring it on. Bring it on. Don't wait until tomorrow.
It's like I don't like people that don't like animals.
Same.
I don't like people that don't like music. If you're not somebody that wants to listen to music or is introducing me to music or has music as a backdrop when I'm at your house or driving in the car, I don't know. I don't like you.
It's like
I don't think I know any of those people.
I,
When
don't,
you see-
I was going to say, I don't think I know you either.
How about the t-shirts back in the day? Death before disco. Like growing up, people
I
would
love
wear Death
disco.
before disco, and I laugh because I'm like, I love disco.
Disco's awesome.
I throw disco parties in
You're
Schoolhouse.
not that fun. Death before disco, you're not invited.
I do want to point out one thing: music without lyrics.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
it's like always in the shadows. But let's go to Star Wars. Let's think about Darth Vader. Let's think about how it sets up your mood. It can be joy, happy moments. It can be the sound of rain and weather, so you know it's doom and gloom. It is an exceptional part of the music industry as well, and it doesn't get as many accolades unless you're watching, the Grammys and now best soundtrack, best whatever. But I literally can think of music. I used to buy soundtracks all the time because I truly appreciate a soundtrack. If I like a movie, I like the music behind it. And I don't have to have lyrics in
No.
the music that I love.
No,
if it sets
But I
me
love
up.
jazz too, and I'll listen to classical because that's a background of.
Oh, I
some
love
music out
classical.
there.
Relaxing, you can study. you
But
can sleep.
here's the other issue that's happening that with your comment on soundtrack made me think about just the difference in the way that music is consumed anymore. Where my parents had albums. I had albums, right? But no one listens to. I'm not talking
Everything
about me.
from front to
to
back
back,
anymore.
and the artist that was them revealing themselves in a way, and they thought about. I mean, you listen to some of my favorite people like a Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20. Like when he talks to you, and he's a singer songwriter, which again, not all of them are. But he's like, this is what was happening in my life, and this is why I put this song against this song, and this is why I wrote this song, and my mom was going through this, and my wife was going through that, and and you learn about them. But the way that artists now release songs is they're worried about the one hit. They want, because it's about downloadability, it's about being played again, it's about, and because they don't also monetize the way they used to, where an album selling and going platinum or triple platinum or whatever, like that's how you made money back in the day with the record company and the contract. Now it's all about, and listen, I love a festival, don't get me wrong, but it's also like the whole way they make money is fundamentally changed because of technology and the way that people consume their art. It's an art. It's an art form.
It's so different. The best feeling was when you went to the record store and you'd kind of put your fingers through the albums, pick it up, and you'd hold it, and then you'd go home and you'd turn your turntable on.
Like,
You were invested. You were invested. You were invested in it.
Yes. For any of you kids listening, the sound of an album, it has like crackles in it. And it's
my kids would be like, "That's not something I want to listen to."
No, and that's the thing. So I said to my husband, I said, I want to get my turntables working. I still have some albums,
even just the beginning cycle when it turns and you hear like a bump, like the
I
hum.
forgot about the.
There's like a little like hum, like bump,
and then you'd break like the needle.
I had a Levi's,
and then you'd have to go, and it was like a diamond head needle. You're like, oh my god,
did you guys ever see the Levi's one? It was like an actual like jean, looked like jeans, and you opened it up. It was made by Levi's. That was my turntable, like when I was in middle school.
But album covers told a story. They made you want to jump in and say, hey, what is this?
I miss MTV. I liked videos.
How about when you go back to like old MTV videos?
I loved them.
And it's just like 80s style. People are dancing.
Devo. I mean, think about some of like the bigger albums that really just affected your life. I mean, Jesus Jones. There were things that
Rolling Stones.
There were things that affected my life, and I can think, okay, that puts me right back in my college mind frame. Devo puts me back, like the Beastie Boys puts me right in softball season, my, freshman through senior year. That's what we listened to as our pump us up on the bus on our way to play.
When I was skiing or any sport I did, whatever apparatus they had at that time, I had in my pocket. So I would ski, and first you had your cassettes, and I'd have always backup batteries.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd have different cassettes because you spend half the day trying to figure out, I don't like this song, I need to get to my song. I would have
fast forward.
A CD player in my coat.
Your Discman.
My Discman.
Oh my God, the Discman.
Backup discs in my other pocket, and like batteries. People are sitting there on the chairlift. I'm like, I gotta like change it up. Oh, my batteries are dead. Hold on, I gotta change it up. They're looking at me like, seriously? And then you fast forward, and there's music in my helmet. There's music
now
everywhere.
Everywhere.
I know.
Every car I had, I didn't care about the car. I always had to have my subwoofer. I'd go and get my Alpine deck. I would get my 6x9s. I'd have separate tweeters, 3x5s in the front. And Dizzy D's ride would be just bumping. And I still have it in my caddy. I have a 63 Fleetwood. And in the back, I got my subwoofer. I have my amps and 6x9s. People get in the car. Dee Dee's friends were like, yay! I'm like, maybe I'll do the sound bar. It's a little loud for you. But music, it gets you amped, and
it's meant to inspire you.
Together.
It's meant to make you feel.
It's whatever you're feeling at that moment.
And it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to be angry, and it's okay to be all these things. And
just love.
And listen, and those are all good things. I think that, again, coming back to just making sure you understand like what you're consuming. And it's funny because I was talking to my kids about this segment, and I was like, doing a little research, and I was like, Kendrick Lamar, I don't know anything about. And now I'm completely intrigued because I didn't realize he was the first rapper to get the Pulitzer Prize for music. The first person to get the rock and roll one was Bob Dylan, who's the #1 lyricist of all time. And I'm like, you know what? I love that fact that there's somebody that I'm like, Kendrick Lamar, who the hell is that? My kids are like, oh, Mom, he's unbelievable. Because there are people back in my parents' day that were like, Bob Dylan, like, what the hell is he talking about? Like, the generational piece of what your timestamp is on music, to me, is just so interesting. And I love going through, like, a catalog of life and being like,
lucky you guys had siblings. You guys got a catalog of music also because of your siblings, and I'm an only child. So it was like my mom and my dad. My dad wasn't a huge music fan, which is interesting. My mom liked old shoo-wop, doo-wop. and the Beatles. But I didn't have anybody that was really an influence, like a musical influence, except for maybe my babysitters.
Oh, see, my siblings had nothing to do with my music. My kid,
John Denver.
That's my parents.
That's
That's my parents. No,
Yeah.
my siblings
Wow.
actually my siblings who I adore. My brother is more like into karaoke, like in the best way possible. Like he's not somebody who would be. I would be jealous if my siblings are going to a music festival.
Talking Heads.
My like
Heads,
nobody
Grateful
wants to
Dead.
go to festivals. Like this realm of people. You guys are all people that like more influence me on music than anybody else. My husband's a music person who actually thinks he's like the king of.
He's like, hey, you got to see the show. You got to see the show, which I love.
I like people that bring like new bands and obscure music to the table. Mackenzie, my oldest, is like an indie rocker. She doesn't like the traditional music that everybody likes. She likes some, but she really likes to find like new music, and she goes and finds it, and she goes and supports it.
And that's what's great about festivals too, I will say. And that's one of the reasons why, like, when John and I would ever like try to, my husband John, we would ever do things. Some people go on golf trips, some people go to a beach. There's nothing wrong with any of those things. Like when we have our alone time, we would go to Austin City Limits. We would go to Hangout Festival. Like before and I'm talking like this is like a decade plus ago, before they became like way more mainstream because
See here
the
now.
monetized.
Put that on your radar, people.
See
But
here
Bruce
now.
is
Google
playing,
it,
so you
look it
can't
up.
get in this year.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Well, you could still buy tickets.
Bruce,
or
Bruce.
just post up on the beach or something. But my point is that the thing that I love, and this is the other little tidbit takeaway that I will say, is that if you have an artist that you are obsessed with and you think that they are just beyond, make sure you aren't a snob about going in to see who's opening for them, because most of the time, that artist has handpicked that other artist to come in to
open for JT
because they see the talent and they see the amazingness. And too many people are like, I don't need to go on and see that. I've never heard of them. I'm like, that's the point. That's the point.
They're exposing
Organic.
Because you're not listening to the radio like you used to, where you're all of a sudden like your ear perks up when you heard a new song, whatever. You're curating your music today in a way that like a lot of people aren't open to new things. And that's a bummer too, because again, Kendrick Lamar, I would never pop on a Kendrick Lamar song. Now, after my kids said it and doing a little research, I'm like, you know what? I don't love rap, but maybe I need to be a little bit more open to the idea of who this person is and that he's being a pioneer in a art form that he loves and he's making an impact on.
Well, rap, it's like growing up with my brothers. I mean, they introduced me to the Grateful Dead. We listened to Talking Heads. It was all rock and roll. But then you always listened to rap. And it was DMC, Cool Mo D,
Biggie.
You had it all. Biggie Small.
Notorious B.I.G.
Tupac, whoever it was.
Oh my God.
But that
Tupac,
you're
that's
listening to the Dead and you're like totally getting into Zen
Press
state.
Dusty.
And then
I'm out.
my mom took
oh
me
my
to
God, the
first-
jam bands.
My
My
mom
husband is like,
took me to my
oh,
first
That's
Dead show.
Jones. Your mom is
No,
synonymous with
Rolling
Mick
Stones.
Jagger.
She's like, okay, so I'm going to dance with your husband when we got married. Our dance is going to be to the Rolling Stones. Jeff, do you know how to dance? He's like, yeah, Florence. But I go to Grateful Dead concerts. She came home from high school one day and she goes, oh, you can't wear that. Come on, we're going. I'm like, where are we going? She goes, oh, we're going to Madison Square Garden. We're going to go see the Grateful Dead. I was like, really? I think the boys are going there. I have 3 brothers. So go to get dressed. She's like, you can't wear that. Like brings me jean shorts with like this, it was a leather fringe vest. And we go and we had these great seats. It was the first time they had played St. Stephen in like 7 years. And I kid you not, I look down and there's Pat and Shane, my brothers. And I do the family whistle. And they
can you do the family whistle, please?
I come running to that.
Everybody
It's
does.
annoying.
Out of control.
I'm
Out of
insulted.
control.
My
It's the
husband
best
does
thing
it
ever.
to show me that he like can make me start running towards him.
But
And
we
I
all
do.
do.
I'm like
I perk up. I'm
At a bar?
I'm like always like, there's a boil in the house. There's a boil in the house. Where's the boil in the house?
It's so ridiculous.
No, but the point is that music brings people together. My mom, and I'm seeing my brothers, and then it makes you happy. It makes you sad. And I still wish there were more musicians like back in the day, like people like Jimi Hendrix, and you watch people play the guitar and you listen to
What happened to bands? Like big bands are gone.
It's because it's digital. Think about our
Wow.
nephew Dylan.
And that's the problem because they don't
the Chili Peppers,
but they don't bring them together. That's the other part. If you like start to like see how they produce music,
You too.
like I can do my segment,
Coldplay.
you do your segment, you do your segment, and then somebody blends it together, and they like there's not a chemistry that happens anymore because you don't have to. And it's kind of like how Zoom is
People need to
changing
watch
things too.
Almost Famous. They need to go back and watch Daisy Jones and the Six, because there was something about being a groupie. There was something about following a band.
It required work.
And you know what? And there was something about listening to an LP from front to back and knowing the obscure songs that didn't make it into the famous realm, but they were still spectacular songs. Like John Mayer. I had a friend that worked, for he worked in the business, and he gave me like one of his initial tapes. And there are songs on that initial tape that I'm obsessive with that never even made it. I don't know why. But it's like marketing. That kind of music to me is so special. And that's what we need to do, is listen to an album front to back. We would drive to Vermont. We'd stick in a cassette. We would listen to the whole freaking thing, and we would know every song on the album.
That's like driving to Vermont. We had 6 hours, and we would every weekend we'd drive to Vermont with the family, all 7 of us in the car, in the Dragon wagon, a big giant station wagon. And I would sit in the front. I remember my dad used to race cars, so he was such a good driver. And when we get in the back roads, it'd be nighttime, and I'd look through the sunroof, and he would crank Willie Nelson, Phases and Stages, for like 2 hours. And I knew every song, and it would kind of go with the turns. And anytime I hear that now, it takes me back to that moment in time of sitting on my dad's lap and looking at the stars and looking at like figures of in the sky. What is that? Oh, that looks like a jug handle. That looks like a dog. I was little. And as you grow up, you're just like, I still love Willie Nelson.
Music.
You put on No Shoes Radio and it comes on. But then you hit Lithium. And then you hit, Groove.
And then you become our age and you listen to Yacht Rock Radio. And every single song.
Rock Radio.
And every single word. And I'm like, how do I know every word to every song? Because it's been playing in the background of our lives.
Yeah.
Our whole lives.
Whole life.
Well, you go to a friend's house.
It was on
Mom
the radio
was
with your
in the
parents.
kitchen. You don't even know how you sucked it up. We are sponges.
Yep.
And I am mesmerized by the catalog of music that I know personally.
Yes.
And what I can sing and what I can recall. And I might not have heard the song in 17 years, but I can sing it and I own it. And it's my song too.
Oh my God, you're going to love this, Farley, because you did this with Chase for Life, where like you were trying to like instill like rock and education and fashion and all that. But did you know, I can't reference exactly, but when I was looking at this episode for research, that the whole reason why Schoolhouse Rock happened was because his son couldn't remember simple things.
Oh yeah.
But he could remember lyrics.
Yes.
So that's how he decided to put Schoolhouse Rock.
And it was
on
also
the thing.
The testing average was at a low.
Yeah.
Like the US was performing under par in elementary school.
Yeah.
And that's
so
where
you put music together with like a concept, and it's like, you remember.
Function.
Are you kidding?
What's that junction? Gonna get you up. I'm just there. Wait, I'm a bill sitting on Capitol.
I know the whole preamble of the Constitution thanks to that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really crazy.
Brilliant.
But no, it really is true. Like it gets into your being. And again,
Jingles.
going back to parental controls. That's why you really want to watch what your kids consume. Because guess what? If your brain is being trained that like you degrade humans, you're nasty, you're terrible, you behave badly, then you've made that okay. And guess what? Parents have a right. When Elvis came out to be nervous about things, like again, time will stand and it will tell. But you're okay in the moment to be like, no, I'm not okay with that. No, I'm not okay with you listening to that. I want you to listen to the clean lyric. I don't want you to go into that concert because I know the element that's going to be at that concert, and that's a scary element. And if you want to go, I'm going to be 2 rows back.
Hence the reason that we
Bad
were
mommy.
chaperones on the train with all the kids to a very fun concert that we enjoyed because Kesha was opening.
Yes,
But it was Pitbull. And
Oh my God.
it was actually completely insane, and thank God we went because half the entire
God.
train would
One
have
of the-
made it.
another problem with going and seeing music, instead of getting a ticket, an old-fashioned ticket, or even a wristband, now it's on your phone.
I hate it.
I had 9 kids with us, and one of their phones was dead, and that was where her ticket was, and there was just
She couldn't remember. She couldn't remember her password. She couldn't remember her email. Her dad had bought the ticket.
We waited for the handicapped to take over the checker's attention, and I said, "Now is the time." So a lesson was learned at that moment.
This is
because
how you
we
sneak into
prevailed.
a
We didn't
concert?
turn around and go home. I wasn't going home.
Well, and listen, let's tee this up for like more future. The way that this is all going to happen is like right now too is Ticketmaster, Live Nation, like they are going down. Like the government has their sights set on the fact that it's like antitrust and like monopolistic, because it is. Like they corner the market, and not only is it bad, not only is it bad for the people that want to go see the shows. From what I was reading very briefly, and I'm going to get more educated on this, but it's bad for the artist. The artists are shackled.
Well, that's why Taylor Swift wants to take it down.
Right, and she's the one that can do it.
Yes.
Go Taylor.
Well, she took all her songs and she remade them and then had them say Taylor Swift version. So she changed the version that she could get the proceeds of that, because the record label who she was with was getting pretty much everything.
Her?
Yes. So she remade a bunch of her songs, and it said Taylor's version. And Taylor's version is she gets all the proceeds for.
Yeah. I mean,
you have
at
to,
the end
but-
of the, and at the
But
end of the
think
day,
of like downloads on Apple. When music became digital, you scam it. And there's ways to scam.
They should have known. As soon as the
anything.
pirating became a factor, they should have recognized that.
yeah, but
it
the
was only-
technology was moving too fast. I remember, like I said, back in the day when I was doing my own stuff, and I could go on like Napster, and I could like steal. I could basically, I could still like download stuff and for free and whatever, and I could slice and dice it, and like that's also not fair.
No.
Like at the end of the day, people with talent should be compensated for their talent in whatever medium that is, and it just needs. Wait, listen. Do I think that at the end of the day, corporations are the ones that are like stealing from everybody? Like the Ticketmaster, they've outlived their good, and there needs to be more people in the space. And if the artist can command going to a venue, why can't they do that on their own? Why do I have to go through a Ticketmaster? I mean, personally, we have the Stone Pony in our backyard, which we're so. I mean, it's such it's amazing. There's
Drive
a summer
there
stage.
and buy your ticket in
Correct.
person.
You
really?
You
We
spend
do it all the time.
1,000%.
I always buy it at the door. Yeah.
Yeah, if you take
can.
Ticketmaster out of it,
I don't want
20
musicians
bucks.
to lip sync, by the way. I'm tired of that. If I'm going to pay for music, if I'm going to go see music live, I don't want lip syncing.
No.
I want to hear it. I don't care if your voice is a little tired.
No, if you want to do
I want
that,
to
go
know
to a
that
sing
it's
along.
authentic, real. I don't want to see,
Go to like a Bruce
Vanilla
Springsteen
Ice.
concert, 3 hours long. Best concert
yeah, and
ever.
he's tired at the end of it, and he's
tired.
breathing, and it's real. I want that organic, like breathy. I'm out of breath. I'm,
Gave it my all.
Although
I'm
I
ready.
have seen a few musicians leave. I went and saw The Cure recently because it was a bucket list with my child to go see that together. I took her to U2, and I also took her to the Chili Peppers because those are 3 of my favorite bands. And it wasn't what it was.
Well, is it? I mean, it's
And
tough.
I told her,
It's
and
tough.
I get it.
It is. That's a stiff drink.
It's
Wow. It is. They're old, they're crusty. How about See Here Now when the B-52s came on?
Oh,
Deborah
Deborah
Harry-
Harry
And Deborah Harry was
She
up
was so
there.
great.
she was great.
You kind of felt their vibe, but they were lip syncing. I mean,
You have to have
it
bucket
depends
list
on the
music.
on the venue.
Well,
And
and
make it
I
happen.
think what a lot of them do anymore, like especially the older ones, is like they're singing over their own song. So like
That's
I
annoying.
they're
Bono
like, I
couldn't
wasn't
even.
they're like I
Bono
wasn't
let
lip
the crowd
syncing.
sing. He was like, "Hey, and we all like chimed in." And so even on like the higher notes, the things that you wanted to hear him blast, he put it out to the audience.
That was Olivia Rodrigo. Every single song was a sing-along song. She's great. She's terrific. She's just a doll.
She doesn't need that.
All right.
yet.
So wait. So
No, but the people were so into it. It's a they were all like teeny boppers and
They wanted
teenagers.
to sing along.
great.
with
And they
us.
all sang along.
so great.
And they knew the lyrics and they were throwing F-bombs and they were just in the moment. And she was dancing and ripping it up on stage. And
That
she
was
was
my kids with
performing.
Hannah Montana and then Miley.
She
I
and
love Miley.
that's like this era.
Like we went from
Miley
Queen
Cyrus
to Miley.
to naughty.
And I miss those days.
I
Wow.
miss rock and roll. But how about our nephew is a really good DJ? And how about DJs? The whole trance,
They are
like
now
house music.
iconic.
He
They're rock
is
stars.
going to the next level. He wants to be like a famous DJ. And hats off to him.
Dylan
because-
Boyle
Yeah, Dilly
in
Dilly
the
Dog.
house.
Dilly Dog in the house, but it's great. I mean, I love house music
So
and trance
EDM.
and
I can take
techno.
that
love
all in.
EDM.
I can be a part of any kind of genre if I'm in it.
I'm in it.
know.
I'm spinning.
Ah,
It
I don't
changed
have to
from
go
my
find
vinyl
one.
though to CDs, to these mixing boards that aren't super old school. It's like now you have like full soundboards of electronics and all digital. I so prefer old school.
Oh, I still
Kind
like
of moving the needle.
and I like
so
and,
fun.
like beatbox.
Yeah.
Like mouth beatbox.
well,
When I used to
do
rap,
do it, please.
break
Please.
dance, and
Please
DJ.
Do it, do it.
beatbox.
I don't know if I can do it anymore.
yes, you can.
Oh, here's one I wrote. Smooth sailing, I glide like a frisbee, letting you know I'm here to get dizzy, rocking the mic like you know you should. I'm like milk, I do your body good. So I wrote that because I was Dizzy D DJing, and I would DJ everything.
Oh, that's a clap. That's a
That's
definitely.
But I
spectacular.
literally would rap, breakdance, and DJ with
Oh, she
5
can
guys
break
out
dance.
of
course
high
you did.
school,
Oh,
and it was so much fun. And I DJ'd and I emceed at the Olympics in Salt
I was
Lake.
there. Oh,
Remember?
oh.
Oh my God!
Oh my God. Parliament.
Parliament
Took us into their
trailer.
trailer.
Oh my god.
And then
He's
the
the-
Foo Fighters.
what?
They introduced the Foo Fighters and it was so sick. I was like, great.
I'm at
There.
Parliament. He's like, you ski? You want to teach me how to ski? And he hands me this big blunt. I'm like, I don't smoke weed. And you just got like this contact high in there. And it was
That's phenomenal.
George Clinton.
Salt Lake City,
He was so cool. But
2003?
I was DJing. Yeah, that was yeah.
No, can't be a 3.
2001?
Has to be a 0 or 4.
2000.
2000 because it was before I broke my neck.
Okay. There we go.
Had all my outfits.
Got
But
it.
I literally
car.
had
You had everything you owned in your car.
400 like DVDs. I was moving home from Tahoe, going to LA. They stole everything.
Shut
like my
up.
favorite boots.
Yes.
All my CDs,
Oh,
albums. I was devastated. Thank God I had already like
that was the beginning
DJing.
of like extreme sports. That's where they made their debut. In fact, that's where Parliament and Foos was the extreme version of like kind of the X Games.
yeah. They
That's
had
where-
their own little zone,
Yeah.
and it was great.
Sick.
On there,
It's a dry city.
Oh,
and we
yeah.
had the best time ever.
Of course.
Oh my God.
Shocker.
met all the Australian guys.
I walked home
Cambridge.
that night. I don't even know where I was. I was like, I hope I make it to my grandma's and I have a baby. And my husband was somewhere.
That's
Oh, no,
right.
he wasn't. He didn't go with us.
He-
Oh,
you had-
wait.
Mackenzie-
missed-
Mackenzie-
It was my
your
dad.
grandma's.
It was my
Oh.
dad. We went out to see my
Oh
grandma.
my
I brought
God.
Mackenzie. I've got a picture of her in like a little USA onesie.
Oh, man.
Oh, it was so
So great.
fun. But that music memory, and that's where all my
I smell it. I feel it. I taste it.
Should
Well,
we hear some music today? Maybe we
music.
should go.
I think we
let's go
should.
to the beach
I
today.
think you gotta
We're gonna
go.
go to Donovan's.
Oh, yes.
I
We're
think
gonna
you
go to
guys might
Donovan's.
enjoy this trip with us. We've got a little DJ in the house until 5, and we've got live music, and we are going to take
DJ
this
Sway J.
gritty show on the road.
Yeah, we're going to take it on the road. But before we wrap, you know what I was thinking? I was like, you know what we did early on that I'd like to kind of bring back is like, there's so many empowering people in music. Like, who's like your grittiest like grit maker of music? Like, who would be somebody that you're like they're my person of music. Like, they're somebody that
hard.
like, I know.
It's very hard. I went through
mood pending.
I went through such a ridiculous Seal phase. Like his
Wow, that's
voice is
him.
clear. It's perfect.
Bring
clarity,
it
every
on.
lyric. I like the soundtrack of Seal is my life.
I love
In a time that I really loved my life. And Lenny Kravitz too.
Mm.
So I don't know. I go all over the place, but I'm gonna say that seal evokes something in me that I can't put into words.
I would have loved to have met Bob Marley.
Oh yeah.
I really just his vibe and his belief in the way his songs were. Because I think of Three Little Birds, and every time I hear that song, I said, "Well, if I ever die, I want Three Little Birds being played at my funeral." You know, Three Little Birds. And every time I hear it, I think it's my dad like talking to me. But he just was.
Meanwhile, I want
cool.
like Into the Wild. I want Eddie Vedder.
But I would love
that
whole
transition to be at my funeral. Like when they scatter my ashes, it's like that. Oh, like raw. I want that.
But someone like James Taylor, who just what a good guy and just singing. I don't know.
Who's yours?
Well, I mean, from
Jimi Hendrix, actually.
From a popular culture standpoint, I mean, I was just like, I'm sure it's because of my parents too. It's like, no, I mean, I was gonna go like Beatles, Paul McCartney, like the Beatles. Like I was playing, it was playing in my house, like 24/7 when I was growing up. I remember going back to my parents' albums and looking, and my dad had like underlined things and like circled things, and my parents sat and like they read the liner notes and like lived by the liner notes and wanted to understand like what the story was of the music. Which is, I think, like fundamentally
the majority of the lyrics for the Beatles.
They both did, and on the list of Rolling Stones,
where's
top,
John Lennon?
3, and Paul McCartney's 2, and Bob Dylan's number 1.
Wow.
Yeah, so those are your top 3. But obviously John Lennon's life got cut way more short than Paul McCartney's, and Paul McCartney was able to go on with Wings, and he had the love of his life and Linda. So like there was. At the end of the day, again, I come back to like fact that like these people are poets and they're trying to evoke where they are in their lives. So obviously, if you have a longer life, you've gone through more experiences, and the more experiences you have, the more opportunity you have to
9 Inch Nails,
be evocative.
Oh my God,
Rage Against the Machine, 9 Inch Nails, and Alice in Chains.
That was one of the best.
That was fun.
That was a fun show. Those are 3 of my favorite bands. I have so many favorite bands.
Oh my God, what about Jane's Addiction?
Loved.
Oh my God, that show that they did recently,
Loved.
like a couple of years ago. I mean, it was like they were at the podium. They were like so ridiculous and unbelievable. But actually, when I was doing a little bit of research for the show, I'm going to give a little shout out to a kid who's 18 years old. He lives in Sacramento, California, who came up on like doing a little bit of research. His name's Josh Cullors. And he writes for a school paper, and he talks about how music is going south and how he wants things to come back the way they were.
Your grit maker?
This is my grit maker this week. And I
like
like the fact that like, here's a kid who's like, listen to classical, listen to jazz, listen to things that are outside of who you are, and learn from the experience of listening to somebody else's experience. And his body of work at this paper that they have online, it was really interesting. They tackle a lot of really cool issues, and I just thought it was really, really cool that he gets called grandpa all the time because he's the guy that wants to go back to the way the music was. He's an old soul, and you know what? I love the fact that people are trying to open other people's ears, eyes, life to being a little bit different, and that's what being gritty is, right? Like not going against the grain. Going against the grain.
Should be a little more creative because they give up. It's almost they make songs for shock value, and it's so hardcore. If you brought it kind of down a little bit and use better words,
I challenge you guys to listen to an album front to back.
Agreed.
Get an artist that you like and listen to it from front to back, and I think that you'll find something in between that you will make your own more than what the world decided was going to be number 1.
Yeah. Or and in that standpoint, I'm going to go home and listen to a little Kendrick Lamar because honestly, I have not. And I'm going to open my ears to somebody that is not on my radar that obviously is doing a lot of things that I didn't listen to because he's not my wheelhouse at this moment. But you know what?
Expand your circle of music.
Yes.
It doesn't mean like if you're not a metalhead that like Lars from Metallica isn't talented.
Correct.
It's like you almost have to consume a little bit of everything so that you have an appreciation and you can have a conversation about all types of music because you've consumed all types of music.
And it's your mood.
And they're all artists.
I pulled in one day skiing, and one of the bartenders who works at our ski club came out, and are you listening to, what is that? I'm like, it's Helmet. He's like, what kind of music is that? I'm like, well, it's like sometimes I listen to a little hard rock. thought you listened to more like top pop. I'm like, oh no.
Isn't it so nice when you shock people about like who you are?
Pantera. I mean, and I still listen to that, and I feel like recently,
Lollapalooza, I saw them.
my music has
in
changed.
Orlando.
I feel like it's taken me back because of Pandora and Spotify, because you put on these channels and it lithium, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember this. I this is what got me so fired up to do any of the events I was doing, and so I've been listening, kind of reliving so many music genres through Pandora, and it brings back memories too, which is fun.
So fun. So fun. So
Thank
fun.
you.
All right, so
Yes.
we're gonna go get some music.
Let's get some music.
Go out and have a little fun. Now that we're all tuned up with our margaritas,
Yes.
and you've met our rock and roll bar.
Yes.
Another cheers and toast.
It's a spectacular
thank
one,
you
and I'm actually offended, Darian.
Oh,
I mean, I
Sorry.
squeezed the limes.
I know.
I made it.
I've been talking too much. My line. Everyone go out and have a lion of a day. And thanks so much for listening to Girls Gone Gritty.
buy some swag.
Buy some swag.
It's available on our
for
website,
listening.
girlsgonegritty.com.
And go to girlsgonegritty.com
Give us some feedback.
or Instagram and tell us your favorite album of all time.
Tell us
We'd
what you
love to
like.
hear it.
Tell us what you don't like. We're ready.
cheers.
Cheers.
Thumbs up.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Girls Gone Gritty.
You can check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
If this episode hits home, share it with someone who needs to get gritty.
The 3 Gs. We'll see you next week.
Peace out.